If you're a parent, it's a scene that's all too familiar. You put your hand on your sick child's forehead and it feels warm. Then the thermometer confirms your suspicion, they've got a fever. But if you follow some simple rules, you'll make them more comfortable and keep them safe. Fever is a defense against infection. Your child's body is raising its temperature to kill the germs. In most cases it's harmless and goes away on its own in 3 days. While the virus runs its course, there are several things you can do to help manage your symptoms. Watch on to learn more. Tips to reduce fever naturally. Also keep these natural remedies in mind to soothe your child without medical intervention. A sponge bath or warm bath. Help your child feel more at ease with a relaxing sponge bath using lukewarm water. As water evaporates from his or her skin, it can bring the fever down temporarily. But avoid using cold water, as this can cause your baby to shiver, raising his or her temperature. Use the fan judiciously. You might want to revisit the old notions such as switching off the fan if your child has a fever. Make sure that your child must be placed in a room which is well ventilated and airy. You can always keep the fan on to facilitate air circulation around the child. Just lower the speed of the fan to make sure that the temperature of the room is normal so that the child does not shiver. Feed your child at regular intervals. The diet recommended is a high-calorie, high-protein, low-fat and high-fluid diet. Bone broth or chicken soup with vegetables can be fed to the child. Make sure your child consumes food that is easily digestible. Feed the child every 2 hours initially, and when the child is better, you may reduce the frequency to once in 4 hours. Do not force your child to eat. Spicy, fatty and high fibrous foods need to be avoided as they are difficult to digest. Custard, light dull, eggs, baked fish, cereals, boiled vegetables and dry fruits are good meal choices. If you have an infant, strained bananas and mashed potatoes are perfect. Khichdi made of rice and lentils is another good option. Keep your child hydrated. To prevent dehydration and aid the body in cooling itself, give your child plenty of fluids, including water, clear soups, popsicles, or yogurt. If your baby is younger than 6 months, breast milk will hydrate and strengthen your little one's immune system while fighting illness. ORS, oral rehydration solution, also helps compensate for inadequate fluid intake, which is an important part of fever treatment at home. Choose light clothing. During fever, children should be dressed in light clothes to ease the loss of body heat. Layers of clothing aggravate fever by trapping body heat. Use a blanket if the child is shivering. Cold compress. Placing a cool, wet washcloth on your child's head can draw the fever out and help your baby rest. Stay indoors. Do not expose your child to direct sunlight during fever. Keep the child in a cool and shaded place, preferably indoors. It is better to avoid excessive exposure to public places as a weak body is vulnerable to infections. So, try these home remedies for fever that do not bear any harmful side effects. Try these as a first line of medication. However, if you do not see improvement or observe that the symptoms are getting worse, consult a doctor.